guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing something a little different than my normal destroying people's dreams and telling them no one's interested in them. But yeah, so I'm going to be reading a short story that I wrote because why not? I haven't named it yet, so that's cool and all. Awesome. Okay, well here's the prologue. I'll just get to it. As one gets older, everything is not always as simple as one once believed. People change, bonds have a tendency to weaken, and one's view on the world changes. We must learn that there is nothing absolutely consistent in life. The sooner we learn to accept the inevitable, the better. When Emily was a young child, she thought her father was a superhero. Her father had to raise her on his own after her mother left them for unknown reasons. Emily couldn't find one single flaw about her father. She was always so excited when they could spend some one-on-one time together. In her father's eyes, Emily was everything he could possibly have wished for in a child. She was smart, bubbly, and altruistic. He was willing to jump over mountains just to make her happy. Emily loved her father immensely, and her father loved her back just as much. Words couldn't describe the love they shared. They would do everything together. They were inseparable. Emily's childhood was like no other. She was loved deeply and immensely by her father, and she was the center of his undivided attention. What else could a 7-year-old possibly want? She couldn't get enough of father-daughter time, although, just like anything, nothing can last forever. As time passed, Emily grew up. She soon became 9, then 10, and then 11. It was evident she was trying to become independent of her father. She began wanting to distance herself from him and go out with her friends more often. But even though she was now 11, she was still dependent upon her father in many aspects of her life. They still spent a great deal of time together, yet both of them knew the bond they once shared was not as strong as it once was. More time began to pass, and receded to nothing but what used to be. Emily continued to grow. When she was 16, she didn't want her father around at all. She wanted to go off and be completely independent from him. Because her father loved her so deeply, he let Emily go off and be with her friends. He remembered the days when he was her age and wanted nothing more than to do the same. He wanted to give his daughter the best life possible, even if that meant he didn't get to be physically by her side every step of the way. Emily seemed to forget that, as she was getting older, so was her father. At 17, her father celebrated his 57th birthday. She didn't bother sticking around for his party because she went off to a different party with some of her friends. Her father was crushed that he was alone on his birthday, but he never told Emily this. He just kept telling himself, "It's all part of growing up. She will come back to me one day. She must." At age 18, Emily went through a terrible breakup with the guy she thought was the one. She was devastated after this breakup, but her dad was there presenting her with a shoulder to cry on. He was always there just sitting back, watching his little girl grow up, wishing she wanted him to play a bigger part in her life. He knew that he needed to give her space, though. She would come back around to him sooner or later. He needed to know she would be fine with him long after he was gone. On Emily's 21st birthday, her father was rushed to the hospital after a seizure and some heart and breathing problems. He was hospitalized for the next 3 days. It was Christmas time when her father was taken off life support. The nurses didn't see any progression in his health, and it was time for him to let go. He was incapable of living a life under these circumstances. Emily would only visit him once in a blue moon if he was lucky. She was busy with work and her newborn. It made things very difficult to visit her dying father in the hospital. As much as she might have wanted to see him, her boss just wouldn't let her off work. Emily's father was pronounced dead shortly after she was fired from her job at the law firm for leaving without consent to visit her father. He died at age 64. She was devastated. Only after her father was gone did she realize how much she loved him and depended upon him. He had always been there for her, and she had wished she hadn't pushed him away like she had. Now that he was gone, she realized that all this time she wanted to distance herself from her father. He was the only one who had ever truly been there for her. Now that he was gone, there was nothing she could do about it. She said to herself that she would forever be Daddy's little girl. So that was my short story. I hope you liked it, and it was something different I wanted to do. So yeah, thanks for watching.